And at that time, I was quite young. And that unfortunate night, we had the incident of having armed robbers, invaded the whole compound. And I was taken away from the house. And by the time I was put back in the boat, I think I was quite half conscious. And they were driving back to Lagos State. And fortunately enough, we had an intercession by the police.
That since I want fire, he's going to give me fire. That he does not want to ever see my leg in that house ever again. So that was to say, he banished me from my home. So as I speak to you now, I have no home.
When I wanted to study art, they said no, I must not study art. I should go do home economics or secretarial studies. I said no. They stopped paying my school fees. I refused and I studied art.
From each narrative to another, the story is the same. A tale of hardship, denial, and abuses that women face throughout their lifetime.
So these are the part of the works I produce anytime I'm upset. I don't need to paint human being. I just put things on ground, on the board, and I start adding colors.
But this forum is not a gathering of helpless victims and sympathizers, but a gathering of think tank women who are conversing for implementation of healing strategies for survivors of domestic violence using visual art.
For us in the arts, we realize that when you're traumatized, we can use every aspect of creativity, be it music, theater, arts, crafts, to overcome your trauma.
Art has a major role to play, in this issue because it helps to amplify the voices of survivors, the voices of victims, and also to get the attention of our policymakers, because also what they're also doing is empowering the children to know that, look, art is an escape route. Apart from being a therapy, it also offers you the opportunity to empower yourself.
You can generate that healing process from your inner self. And how do you do it? Using art.
Today, developmental art scholars are emphasizing that victims of sexual violence should have access to treatments that are tailored specifically to addressing sexual trauma and healing from their traumatic experience.
Because we're not finding outlets to let out that pain. So, and you begin to swallow drugs, but like I tell you, art is therapeutic. It can give that magical transformation that will lessen that pain. I've seen women who were not talking. At my class, we're working with clay and they were able to produce something, and that inner power of art just helped them from their aphasia. They're able to speak a word, and from there, they begin to pick up.
We will also be asking them that let it not just be only a yearly event. At least we could go around with some of these artists so that these therapies that could be obtained either through singing, through music, through the artwork, it will be of great benefit to the students.
My art teacher, she teaches us that art is a therapy. Art is everywhere. Art can be anything. Pick up a pen, draw a dot, it's art. So what I learned today here was just an addition to that.
Visual and performing art are in themselves therapeutic when it comes to mental health. For centuries, these forms of art healing processes has been used to restore lost identity and hope in persons suffering from emotional, physical, and mental abuse. Therefore, as part of giving justice to victims, there is also the need for psychological healing to be administered to them.
So this roundtable is meant to help to educate and to share our perspectives and to give voice to those who feel they don't have a voice.
Yes, the offenders are behind bars, but what about the process of healing for these victims? How do they come to terms? How is their family dealing with it? So I think that the socio-psychological aspect is what this conversation has offered, an insight on how we can look at therapy also as a necessity for victims in the process of healing.
World Campaign for 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence may have come and gone, but the awareness will continue to raise discussions surrounding gender-based violence until they are nipped on the bud.